Hello everyone, my name is Lauren and welcome to another video from the Tiny Menagerie. When is a barb not a barb? Well, when it is in fact a Rathbun's Tetra. This is a little fish that has an awful lot of names. It's also known as the Fire Flank Tetra, the Green Fire Tetra, Rathbuni Bloodfin Tetra, Red Flank Bloodfin Tetra, and Rathbun Fire Tetra. But I rather like the simple Rathbun's Tetra, and so that's the one I'm sticking with. And just as confusing as their name, these tetras are not at all what you might expect from a tetra. They have the adipose fin, but that is about it. This is a little fish that shoals like a danio, hunts like a gourami, and has the attitude of a barb. They are certainly not very tetra-like. But what are Rathbuns like to keep, and what kind of setup do they need? Well, like the majority of other tetras, Rathbuns hail from South America, where they inhabit many of these shallow, slower-moving waterways as well as lakes and ponds. These waters are often densely planted with plenty of hiding places for a small fish, and Rathbuns tetra certainly prefer a tank that has at least the option of hiding should they want to, although they never seem to do so. In a very bare tank they can be rather shy and pale, while in a tank that has at least one place that would be good for hiding, just one clump of dense foliage, then that is enough to give them the confidence to be out and about in the open, which they are the vast majority of the time. Rathbuns are an active species. They are eternally inquisitive and ever so slightly annoying to other fish. Much like many of the barbs, Rathbuns don't seem to have much sense of personal space, and the males especially seem to delight in challenging pretty much any other fish to spar with them. This is regardless of whether or two the species are even remotely alike. These fights never get in any way serious, and to be honest, the other fish just tends to look rather puzzled rather than in any way intimidated. But this could potentially be an issue for very sensitive species, or those which are rather easy to wind up, such as the smaller cichlids. So best to keep Rathbuns with other more feisty and confident species. They also have a reputation for being fin nippers, and I have found this to be pretty much largely true, especially when they are first introduced to a new species they haven't met before. This seems to bring on an almost insatiable need to have a little nibble around the edges of the new fish. Once they get to know the new species, this soon calms down, and the Rathbuns will start nipping at them eventually. I wouldn't trust them at all though with any fish that has very long flowing fins, or very delicate fins such as guppies though. As mentioned, Rathbuns are a true tropical species from the South Americas, and they prefer to be kept anywhere between 20 and 26 degrees C, and with a pH just on the acidic side of around 6 to 7. They are also a shoaling species, and they do need to interact with their own kind and should be kept with a minimum of 4 other individuals in the group, preferably with an equal number of males and females. And as they are fairly active, they would need to be kept in a tank of at least 60 centimeters in length, just so they have space to stretch their fins. Both sexes are pretty much identical when they are younger, but as they reach adulthood and grow to about 1.5 inches in length, the males will start to develop a very striking white tips on their fins. These will gradually intensify over the years as the fish ages, and the more dominant males will also develop a black edge around that white as well, just adding to their appeal. Females, on the other hand, have clear fins and a generally much calmer disposition. They will often leave the group and swim off to go around any decorations or any of the foliage that they have in the tank there, as they will be on the hunt looking for something small and tasty to eat. Once they've either found their fill, or if they get bored I suppose, then they will mosey back to the rest of the group, where they will almost always be set upon immediately by the confused males challenging something else to a sparring match, an invitation the females tend to just ignore and go about their day. This being the case though, Rathbuns are safe to keep with adult Neocaridina shrimp, although those females will likely take any shrimplet that they come across while they are hunting. Luckily though, they will also feed on pretty much anything else. Rathbuns are not challenging to feed at all. They will take anything from flakes and pellets through to frozen shrimp, pretty much whatever you put in their tank for them. Although do bear in mind they only have a very tiny little mouth, and they're not very good at finding food if it reaches the substrate. So their meals need to be very small so that they can be gulped down while they are sinking. In fact, the substrate is the only part of the tank that Rathbuns tend not to use very much at all. Rathbuns will spend the vast majority of their time in the upper 2/3 of the available area that's being given to them. They are perfectly happy in either open water or around decorations and obstacles. And for a Tetra, they are very keen to explore and keep on the move. Most Tetras, of course, have a far more conservative attitude towards energy expenditure. Overall though, Rathbuns are a fantastic species for the right tank, so long as you have the right tank mates for them who aren't too sensitive. They are active and fun to watch with a great variety of different behaviours to keep you entertained. Anywho though, I hope you have enjoyed this little video all about Rathbuns Tetras. Happy fish keeping everyone, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye!